Hi guys, come with us as we attend the school open house as part of our ongoing search for the right school for Damisi. So we moved to Canada in 2022, and even though my daughter was about 5 months at the time, I started researching for schools right away. I know, it sounds early, right? But if you're a parent here, you would quickly realize that choosing the right school for your child is not as easy as you would think. But over the past few months, we've been more intentional, asking questions and exploring the environment to see where she might fit best. She won't obviously start kindergarten until 2027, but we're hoping to find a school she could begin with next year if they offer like a preschool or a pre-K program. Now, let's talk about what we've learned so far. If you're new in Canada, especially in a city like Calgary, this is where I live, you realize that there are so many types of schools, like different categories, and each one works differently. For example, let's start with Francophone schools. It's usually called Francosud. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well. I'm not French. Which are mostly public schools, but they are designed for like families with French-speaking backgrounds, maybe a parent or grandparent who speaks English. So if you don't have that background, your child might not qualify. So it's really about preserving the language and heritage within those communities. Next, we have denominational public schools. So Christian schools, Catholic schools, or even Islamic schools that are still part of the public system but include faith-based teachings. We also have charter schools, and Calgary has a few well-known ones like FFCA, Foundations for the Future Charter Academy, and Classical Academy. So now these two are still publicly run. So these schools are tuition free, but operate differently from like regular public schools. Now here is the trick. For FFCA, there is usually a lottery system. Despite being the same charter school publicly run, FFCA has a lottery system. Parents literally join the waitlist from the day one the child is born. And then you have opportunity to renew every year. So that means that, take for instance, you start at 0. At the time the child is 5 years, you obviously have more slots, 5 slots, than someone who registered maybe when the child was 3 or 4 or 5. Now you might ask, what is the difference between FFCA, Classical Academy, like all these publicly run charter schools from other regular public schools? So these charter schools would usually wear uniform. They have homeworks. They are quite heavy on academic excellence. That's like the main difference between them and regular public schools. Also, we have private schools which vary a lot. Some are faith-based, some are focused on academics, while others like emphasize creativity, leadership, or even outdoor learning and adventure. Some are expensive, but there are some affordable private options as well. There are also French immersion schools. Now, this is different. I know I mentioned Francophone schools. It's different from French immersion schools, both public and private. So your child will literally learn in both English and French, meaning that they will still teach English. Francophone schools are purely French, like it's only French that you would hear in that kind of school. So recently, my husband attended a private school expo here in Calgary. You can just type private school expo. I think it's ourkids.net. They usually just have that program every year, once a year. But I couldn't make it because I wasn't feeling well that day. But it was such a great opportunity to meet with representatives from different schools, ask questions and compare programs. Like this is just for private schools. Another great resource for your research would be Fraser Institute School Rankings. It helps you compare schools based on their performance and other criteria. One of the reasons why I will always emphasize that parents should do their research, especially as new immigrants in this country, is because different schools have different experiences, even if they are in the same category. And I'll give you a real life example. So for instance, currently our brother teachers are on strike, which means that most public schools are closed. And I assume that, it's all public schools, so this would affect charter school, right? So I was speaking to my colleague and she said, oh no, like because she has her kids in FFC, and she said, nope, they're not on strike. And I was shocked. So it's just, you just have to do that research in order for you to make that decision, especially because this is very important for kids. Schools are a big deal. That's where the child will spend 12, 13 years of their life. So it's important for you to do your research. To families who have already gone through this stage, please share in the comments what type of school, like what category of school your child attends. Is it private, public, charter, denominational, or French immersion? And tell us why you chose that route. It could really help us that are just beginning the school search journey. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow, like, share, comment, do all the nice things. Bye.